the Tesla showcase, if you like, on the at the White House, it coincided with the retaliatory tariffs, didn't it? Basically happening at the moment. How do you think
Yeah.
Elon's navigating this tension between the global needs of Tesla and his loyalty to Trump?
Well, people adjust. I mean, people adjust to all these things. Um, you know, at the moment in this country, when you buy a car, you're already paying about 90% of it is taxed to this hopeless government. I mean, it's ridiculous. So, it's just taxes. I mean, I was amazed once to be in England at Piccadilly Circus area, and I saw the new Mercedes Benz coming out in 1990. Sort of like a Mustang looking one, convertible. I looked at this thing, oh, this is terrific. And I went in to look at it, and they said if you take an FOB, it's 100,000 francs. Oh, no, not francs, Deutschmark. So then I thought, what? That's ridiculous. What do you mean? Can't be that. It must be like 300,000. No, no. Oh, no, that's FOB. It's when you get it to your country that it becomes 300,000. If you follow what I mean.
Yeah.
Anyway, so terrorists, yeah, we all have that misery, and so what can you do? At the other, I just wanted to say about these tariffs that Trump's talking about. I was aware many years ago that if I went to Canada, which I did quite often because I taught at the university in Ontario, that the people on weekends, because I would spend quite a few weeks there, the people on weekends would all head to Buffalo, which was the nearest United States city. They cross the border on a Saturday morning. They come back late on a Saturday evening, and they have their trunk loaded with groceries, whatever it is they could want to, anything, kettles, toasters, whatever they needed, and the car is like loaded, and and then they have to get back through they don't have any trouble with the American customs. They have a problem getting back into Canada. And then, I did this a few times with people, and the Canadian custom guys would like sort of turn around as you came in because they were trying to help, and say, gee, look, there's a bird in the distance, and then you would say, yes, and then you're all looking that way, and then you drive through, you see. And you know what I mean? So they didn't stop you. They're really nice because it was so much better for the Canadians to spend their loonies or whatever they call their money on the American side. They get so much more value, than they did on the on the Canadian side. And that was because Canada charges incredible tariffs then on American goods. I was told, for example, if you bought something in the dairy line, let's say in America, and then compared to what you'd pay for it in Canada, it was 3 times more expensive in Canada because of the tariff. So the tariff on an American, whatever it is, would be 3 times as much on cheese or something like that, And I said, really, so that's the thing. So Canada's been charging the United States tariffs through the roof for years. And because Canada's viewed as a sort of weak neighbor, they just put up with it.
Right. I mean,
But
I always
enough.
thought, I mean, from Trump's point of view, it's a negotiating tactic, isn't he? He said tariff is that most beautiful word, but he's basically trying to negotiate deals around the world. It is the art of the deal, isn't it?
Well, yes, I don't know what I think what gave rise to tariffs. I'm not sure what. All I know is that they've been ripping off the Americans. There's no question about that. And in order to keep going, the Americans have been borrowing against their own country to keep everybody happy. So you've got the European Union charging the US 3 times the tariffs that what they are charged. The other way around, and that's not right. That's not right. I mean, the European Union as a group is as big as the United States. They are fleecing the United States. They're a bunch of crooks, really. They're a bunch of what we call scallops, bad. They do that to the Americans because the Americans are kind and decent people, and they try to help, if you know what I mean. The Americans never. I was talking to an American station the other day bunch of Democrats actually, and they were moaning